Okay, second time around, trying to make this video work. All right, so I was talking about the SP, cool things in the SP that I like. Periodically, I'll find more things, or I'll find little techniques that I like, and I'll share them with you. And that's kind of what this video is. So here's a simple tambourine. But I want to make that tambourine come to life. I want to make it sound kind of like this, without it being so, but perhaps I want to do even more, but that's just where I'm at now, right? So how did I get this to go to this? I didn't just play it, because you can tell, even if I try to play it really lightly, sometimes it still won't give you that sound that you're looking for. So to do one technique I use, now I have two techniques I'm going to show you. One's probably the easier one for most people, and the other one is kind of a little thought to it, I guess you might say. So what I did was I used a delay, the SX delay, which is kind of one of the newer ones. So if you hit the MFX pad and hit the isolator one, because it'll take you through the pages, you can see. Hopefully you can see that without my hands anyway. And hold the page down and then press the pad you want, corresponding pad. Hold on, I'm gonna switch fingers so you can see it. Press the corresponding pad. Now you have a delay, and I'm gonna hit remain, and that holds that page on so I can work on it. So I put it in 1/8. I put the feedback as 1. I just wanted it to, right, with that little extra tail at the end, which is okay. And then I left the 98:2 ratio because that percentage is giving me more of the sound and less of the delay, but the delay is still there. And then if you hit, I think it's shift. No, this one doesn't have it. This is a basic one, which I like. I like the basic stuff. All right, so then I'm gonna turn it off, and that's where, and I made it a loop. All right, stop that loop. So see, you don't even have to hit exit in a loop. You can stop it. But I think if the loop's not there, and you try to hit it again, it won't. So just keep that in mind. If you're in a loop, you can hit the button to stop the loop. And that's the same thing in Koala. I mean, it's the exact same way, by the way. If you have Koala, if you set a loop to something, you can stop it. So just keep that in mind too. All right. So then I wanted to build a pattern. So I built a pattern of drums, and just so you can hear what it sounds like, I'm going to do something really quick. Don't just disregard it for a second. Take that out. Okay, so that way you can hear what the drums sound like without it. All right. With it. So it kind of it's nice because I like percussion in the music to give it some different rhythms. You don't have to play the percussion all the way through and through, but it's nice to have it, play it, use it, utilize it. So that's kind of the point, is that you not the effects don't have to be just, hey, I built a 8-bar loop or a 4-bar loop. I just want to show you how cool I can press a bunch of effects and make the sound stutter and whatever. You know, if you put a loop on something, you can easily a sync delay, isolator, you know. All right, so yeah, you can do all that stuff, and that's fun and it's neat, but like anything, it can get old after a while. So start thinking of ways, like if you're songwriting, if you're trying to make a song with something, think of ways that you can utilize the effects and do different things, like being able to, how can I make a percussive loop without having to just play it all the way through? I want to make an actual loop that I can use to start out to kind of get me going, right? And I'll give you another tip that I like is if you don't know how to build it because you're still working and you're still new with this, even in Koala, make the loop in the step sequencer if you have to. Try the step sequencer out. Don't hate on it. It's actually worthy, and I use it for a lot of different things. But try it out. Try to make a step sequencer percussive loop, and then resample that loop to a pad, and then you can always use that as your target to get you going on recording your drums if you want to try different types of drums or have something to kind of give you some idea to start. So those are a few things. Also in the previous video, and I'll just show it right now, there are a couple ways to do different things. I was showing you how to stop a pad, but I'm going to show you something else real quick. So I'm just going to go copy that pad to this one. So it's the same pad. So let's say you have two loops going at the same time, but let me do something different. Oh man, what have I done? I want to change that. I was showing you could stop one or the other by using exit in that. Right? But if you had two loops going like that, and that actually sounds kind of neat, but whatever, it is off, shift exit will stop both of them at the same time. So you could go, or you could go and hit both of them and they'll stop. It's just different ways to do the same thing, to stop the loop. The coolest thing they've added to me, one of my favorite things, is that you can be in a pattern mode, be over here, and if you want to stop the loop, hitting exit like 4 times in a row, like boom, it'll stop the loop. It'll do the same thing here. So it's different ways to stop the pattern, to stop the loop. So I think if you have, it'll do that too. 1, 2, 3. I think it might be 3. I said 4, but 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 4. All right. So 4 times on the exit button, you'll stop the loop too. So again, multiple ways to stop things and start things or whatever you want to do. I'm only showing you this because somebody made a comment to use shift exit. Well, that's true, you could, but it just depends on what you're trying to do. I'm not just trying to stop the whole pad. Or the whole sequence of pads going. I want to stop just one pad. So you could do this. You could go here. But let's say you want to take out this. Let's see. No, it doesn't do it that way. Okay, never mind. So you can't just stop one there. The only way to do that would be go back in. Well, first of all, it's on loop. I actually had to take it off loop. All right, let me delete this one. Maybe it will work because I had it on loop. I didn't realize I had it on loop. All right, let's try it again. Nope, so it doesn't work that way, see? Shift exit also will stop the whole pattern, everything. So shift exit 4 times, or exit in a pad. If you're playing a loop inside of the regular, then when I say the regular, I mean you're not in a pattern, then that will stop a single pad. Listen, I mean, it's just what it is. It got multiple ways to do it. It's just like anything nowadays. They have multiple ways to do it. It's just whatever works for you and makes you more productive in your workflow. All right, last but not least, I think I said this before, be creative in the way that you use your stuff, and you'll find that the SP can do a lot more than it seems to be. Because I've seen some people recently doing some ambient stuff on the SP, and I'm floored. Because when you think of the SP, people think boom bap, and they think lo-fi, and they think maybe some jazzy stuff on there, because I definitely will incorporate that, sampling and all that kind of jazz. But you can do whatever you want with it. It's just up to the person. It's the creativity. So don't limit yourself on creatively thinking it's just one thing or the other. And since they added the step sequencer now, I personally think that it's gotten even better than it was prior to any other version. with regards to that. So that's just my personal opinion. But you can use that. And don't forget that I never use this, but recently SP Vids did a video on the mark button. So don't forget, you can set it to 40 seconds of recording while it'll record continuously in the back. So you have the mark button if you want to go in there and maybe you like the part that you did. But another thing to remember is, I'm going to exit out of there. Yeah, I don't mind losing it. Whatever. Another thing to remember is, and you have to like really force yourself to do this. Hold this down and press the bus. Turn the bus effects on first. Okay, you're in there. Hold this down. Hold this down and then press it on. You got to turn the bus off on there if you got anything on there. Because if you don't, every time you record a pad, it's going to have that effect on it. Right? So, like, these pads here have the because I recorded and forgot to turn it off. Now have the sound of the 303 on there, which I love the 303. Obviously, look at this sticker, vinyl sticker. But when I'm recording, sometimes I don't want that effect on the pad that I'm recording over to because maybe it already has it on this one. It doesn't, but if it did, that would be awful. So just turn off your bus effects. The obvious easiest way to do it is click in, press this encoder down, and then hit the on, and then you can do it off or whatever, and leave it off until you're ready to bring it in. And that's the challenge. What it is just remembering certain things like that. But once you get it, you got it, and it just takes practice. I'm still messing up and still learning, so don't give up on it and keep going with it, and make it like an everyday use scenario, and you'll get it. And that's the same thing with OP1 too. If you want to learn the OP1, you got to make it an everyday use, or else you won't remember it, because it is a different workflow, than an MPC or even a DAW on a computer. And I'm using mine too also now as my iPad. It can't be an iPad, but I'm using it as my interface. So my speakers are running directly out. I have a USB-C right here going into the computer. So I can now record straight from the computer in. And I did that yesterday. I don't know if I showed it or not. So okay. Okay, so I did that, some horns, and here's the pattern. I'm just going to show you this since I'm in the video. I might as well do it, right? That was the drums. Oh, wait, we're on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Should be H. There we go. So I did these using the MPC. Actually, they have the VSTs. This is one of their stage pianos. I think it's the Steinberg D with some effects on it, of course. And then, sorry about that. The BPM got switched on that. It was not 96 BPM. So give me 1 second to get the BPM right. I want to say it was 86 if I remember right. That might be too fast. I apologize. I'll have to show you all that later because somehow the BPM got switched in there, because it's definitely not 96. For sure it's not that. 82. Because whatever, I use that to start. So let me go back. I got it. Why did that? I don't know why I switched that. 82 should be what it is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there we go. That's using the computer. The drums obviously done straight from here with samples. The bass, trillion on the bass from the computer. We'll record it into here, right, to get that good sound. Like, ooh, it's got a groove to it. Then I added in some horns from Swam Instruments. And I used, what did I use? I've used a piccolo trumpet with some effects on it. So it's like using the yeah. All right, cool. So there's your effects at the end. I did a little whatever, and it wasn't good, by the way. I'm terrible at that. But just to show you, you can do it. It's pretty cool. The SP is, it's not like super compact. If you've ever seen an OP1, you can see it's about, well, you can't see the edge of that, can you? It's about almost, the OP1's a little longer, but the SP is a little wider. It's not that much, honestly, that big at all. It's super portable, takes batteries, so you know how it goes. And then I use this right here. I just turned it off, but so little battery, little 5-volt battery with this cable from Ripcord. I think it's is it Ripcord? I think that's Ripcord that sells that. My brain, yeah, Ripcord. So anyway, very cool little thing that you can utilize to do your music. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Hopefully you are too, and learning things too from the video. And I appreciate people that comment in there and tell me things too. So don't think I'm in any way like mad because you say something. I actually like that because it gives us conversation. We learn from each other. But yeah, let's continue. Let's continue in this process. I think it's going to be good for everybody to pick up something, right? And if you aren't using the SP, you can use these same workflow tactics in Koala. They work really well. I was doing Koala before I had an SP. So that was my thing. And Koala's a lot more affordable, and it's still just a ton of fun. It is easier to learn. I will say it is easier to learn on. And I think if you're interested in, if you love Koala, the SP is like right there. You could get it and you would enjoy it too. I enjoy both personally, but anyway. All right, that's enough of the ranting. I'm out. Have a good day.